Welcome to episode 21 of our live, and some would say called very Canadian talk show called the A Travel Talk Show. So, as our regular viewers know, we are broadcasting live. This is a live show, so bloopers happen, stuff happens. No one panic. We are Canadians. We got it under control. We broadcast every day, Tuesday, 7 p.m. PST from our base camp in somewhere Canada. It's a beautiful place to live, right, Colin?
Oh, the best.
Yes.
My favorite place in the world.
Colin, I thought we're going to switch it up today. We brought in a world-class, awesome dude, Fiddler, which I'm going to tell you about in a bit. But before we get there, it has been one heck of a summer for us to get some cred, Colin, in such a challenging time. So I'm just pretty excited about some of the cred we've gotten so far in the summer and this year. So I just wanted to share with our viewers. Today, I got a really cool email, and it said that the A Travel Talk Show was just recognized as the top 9% of Be Live broadcasts globally, Facebook Live globally by Be Live TV. Yeah. I know, and that's a huge audience, right? So that's pretty cool. So awesome. here's the thing. I think there's something in the Canadian water because there's the cred's flying. So this month we were also nominated for the 2020 Hospitality Award by Lux Magazine and the AI Group magazines. This month our Experience Community program was featured in BC Business Magazine. This year, we were ranked as a top 20 Canadian website to watch by FeedSpot. Earlier this year, our Experience Community program was nominated for a TIAC Tourism Innovation Award. And then, just to cap it all off, dude.
There's more.
There is. Our blog was ranked 23rd in the top 1,000 global travel bloggers by Global Rise in January 2020.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
I know. I hope it just keeps coming. So
high five.
Yeah.
You got the right side.
Fist pump.
Fist pump.
There you go. Physical distancing. So anyways, I'm pretty stoked on what's happening. Considering it's all that's happening, it just shows that we're doing our best and working hard and trying to get Canadian content out there in all forms, shapes, sizes, and formats. So today, Colin, the reason we're all here is to hear some talented fiddling.
Yes.
Today we talked with Canadian's premier fiddle, Mike Sanyshyn. Mike is the Canadian Country Music Association Fiddler of the Year. He's got that a few years back, as well as the BC Country Music Association Fiddler of the Year. So woot to Mike Sanyshyn, right?
Yes.
So we're going to talk a little bit about violin. We're going to talk a little bit fiddling, I guess, and maybe Mike could tell us if that's a synonym or if there is a difference between fiddling and violinist. I'm sure we'll cover that. Isn't there? Musical collaborations, and Mike is probably the king of that. I mean, the list is in the hundreds, I think. So it's huge. The music industry, we're going to talk a little about concerts and some of Mike's licks and riffs. See me talking musician call? Licks and riffs.
You just got the lingo down pat now, don't you? Yeah, we're getting hints from Mike and stuff before the show.
I know. If we're interviewing musicians, we got to talk musicians.
Right? Talk the language.
I know. So
we'll be picking up instruments soon.
Exactly. So I was going to say a little bit about Facebook. The Facebook comments, sometimes we don't get them for a while. Sometimes we get them halfway through the show. But it looks like, because we've had a few people jump on the comment section, we got our friend Scott Cole here from the Cowichan Valley. Scott saying,
welcome, Scott.
And he's being polite. He's going, good evening, boys.
Yeah, that's not the real Scott for sure.
No, he knows this is a family show.
Yeah,
right?
thanks. Right? Appreciate it.
Take that, Scott. Thumbs up, dude. And then also we have Yano Howard here from the Merritt, British Columbia. She's going, that's awesome. Not sure what's awesome. Probably you. You're always awesome. You're always awesome, right? So.
Well, me?
Yeah. So
thanks, bro.
You know, the corporate guys upstairs, the suit and tie geeks that are up there paying all the bills, they're telling us we need to do some housekeeping. So as always, to cover that point, so we can go on with the show. This show,
Yes.
the A Travel Talk Show, is being recorded
Mhm.
live. After the show, we need you to share, 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 and share. Sharing is everything. The edited version will be available tomorrow on the ehCanada Travel website. At the end of the month, we'll be featuring all of our guests we've had during the month with links to their video. And then tomorrow, we'll have this up on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, and our website. Say that real fast. Let me try that again. And tomorrow, we're going to have it on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Tumblr, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, and on our ehCanada Travel website. See, that's pretty cool, right?
I am so impressed.
Yeah.
That's why you're the older brother.
Uh-huh. Smarter.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Without
My
question.
name is Greg Girard. I'm the co-host of the A Travel Talk Show. I'm the co-founder of ehCanadaTravel.com. In case you're born yesterday, ehCanadaTravel.com is the largest privately owned, operated travel and adventure website. We're now at 18,000 pages, 16,000 photos, and you can now contribute stories, tips, photos, and videos. And we're going to show you a little bit down the show about why you should be doing that, because there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
Moi, as we said, the 23rd ranked travel blogger. Next door to me, the smarter, the technical wizard guru of the operation.
Better looking. Can't forget that.
Better looking. Junior. So Junior, give yourself your little intro.
Junior, either aka Colin Girard. I'm also co-owner of ehCanadaTravel.com. I'm the back-end tech department, makes it all run and keep on going. Also the co-host of this wonderful 21st episode of the A Travel Talk Show.
I'd like to just put a little thing. Have you noticed our background call?
It's yeah, you did a good job.
Well, it's a little tribute to Mike Sanyshyn. Is we put
Yes.
a whole bunch of fiddles in our background for this show to honor the great Mike Sanyshyn. We are doing a fiddle tribute this
You
show.
sure they're not violins?
I hope Mike straightens us out on that, you know. Right? So we'll see what happens there. So the A Travel Marketing Group, just so you know, is a consulting arm of ehCanadaTravel.com. And the A Travel Marketing Group is responsible for public speaking engagements, small and rural community and tourism consulting services, and the Experience Community Program, which is our custom design, authentic content marketing program designed for small and rural Canadian communities, and it's getting a ton of press. So you got a community that's small and rural, you want to get ahead of the game and plan for the next 2 or 3 years, you need to talk to us. And we have the proof to prove it. So, call. Now we're gonna go into the A Week in Tourism episode of our show. Right?
Exciting.
And usually what we do is we bore you guys with how bad things are in the tourism industry, and we're honest with you about what the stats are saying, because Junior and I do a heck of a lot of research. And sometimes it's not, it's sort of a bit of a downer, but we need to know, because if we're going to make solutions, we need to know what's going on. So today we're going to do a little bit of a twist. We're going to talk a little bit about social media marketing, and we're going to talk about YouTube.
Awesome. Bring it on.
Okay. Here's the story with YouTube. Why are we going to talk about YouTube? Because there's a big lesson to learn in today's story. So cuddle up, grab your coffee and your popcorn, sit back, and get ready for this really interesting story. So right now, if anyone who knows us knows, I tell you, basically YouTube is the second largest search engine on the internet behind Google. Okay. If you don't know that, better know that, because YouTube is the second largest. But YouTube is a big swamp. It's got every type of video and it's got every type of viewer. Okay. So you got to understand that. There's a huge, and let me tell you how big that is, because according to Algonquin College here in Canada, not a US stat, this is a Canadian college that did some Canadian research, and we like that because we poke Canadian. So 71% of Canadian users, that's 17.6 million people, visit YouTube every month.
Wow.
Yeah. Over 6 billion hours of video are watched each month on YouTube. Wow. That's almost an hour for every person on earth. 1 hour for every person on earth. Whether you got internet, computer, or you're born, you are literally, according to stats, looking 1 hour a day. That's huge. That's huge, right?
That's really huge.
So here's the staggering. If you think, well, before I get there, 100 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's this massive amount of volume, all content all over the world, all different genres, all different topics, everything, just a mishmash of videos, right? Then you got a mishmash of viewers. So people who like pickles, people who do plumbing, people who arrange flowers, people who build houses, people who do this, do that, do that, a whole bunch of different niche markets, right? So everyone has this perception, the bigger the better. And that's a big problem in the tourism and everything industry, is bigger is not better. There's a lot of content, a lot of users, and it's all over the map, okay? Here's what Canadian business influence, event planners, and tourism guide, tourism and attractions. What you guys want, and the reason you're on YouTube, is you want eyes on your content, but not just eyes on your content. You want quality eyes on your content. You want people who aren't just saying, oh, that's a pretty picture, where's that? Or, oh, that's cool, I was there 6 years ago. You want people who are saying, I'm going to travel and this is going to get me to travel. So you want to hit the traveler, not the wisher traveler, not the I wish I could traveler, not the I'm doing it in 10 years traveler and I'm planning. You want to go to the guy, the family, the seniors couple, the road trippers. You want the one that are saying we're going out in the next month or two or week, and you want those eyes on your content, right? The reason, yes, a qualified traveler. Okay, so because Junior is an expert and he's smart and he's all that good stuff. Here is where many in the tourism industry, this is where they all get distracted. They think YouTube, and it is the second largest search engine, but it's not a dedicated market. So here's a little eye opener for all you peeps out there. And I'm just going to go grab it here for you. And it's going to open up some eyes, I think. So let me show you something. Now, I am going to show you the difference between quality travelers and just content. So if you take a look at this graph, if you noticed on it, we have the same video has been uploaded by a client on our ehCanadaTravel.com. And then that same video is put on YouTube. This video was an Ontario's Butter Tart Festival, put on by Let's Discover Ontario. Now, on YouTube, put it up the same time, they had 716 views. ehCanada, they had 1,029. Now, we look at another video. This is one of Maligne Lake by Travel Clips 360. YouTube, as you can see there, barely broke 300. Wow. We're at 1,500 views on the ehCanada Travel website. Here's I know, and it continues almost every video. Here's one on YouTube put up by the 2006 Brantford Kingsman Rib Fest. They had 288 views. We have 1,395 views. So do not be fooled by what's on there. Bigger is not better on the internet. It's quality content, quality users. So the one point I'm showing here is that ehCanada Travel and my bro and I, we are guerrilla marketing experts. We know how to get it out there, and we know how to do it efficiently. And we are proving day in and day one that we can outdo YouTube if you are a Canadian marketer, tourism business entertainer, whatever the number is. Now, we have over now 400 different travel, entertainment, and tourism videos online. And what we're doing is we're checking them all on how we compare to YouTube, because that's what everyone's basically in love with. We beat them on almost every single video that's on YouTube and our site. Yeah, so that's what we're teaching you today. You do your research when you do social media. Find out how many eyes are on your content. Find out how good is your content getting out there. Does it position on search engines? How is that social media platform sharing it? So this is an example. We aren't no YouTube. We don't want to be a YouTube, but we are a Canadian travel and tourism adventure planning and booking website. And we are the up-and-comers, and we know what we're doing. And I'm just saying, I'm going to pat our own horn that we do know what we're doing, and we will get your content out there. So if you're a business, Colin, what should they do?
They should sign up with ehCanadaTravel.com, because like Greg said, it's not just the videos. We have qualified travelers coming to our site looking to book. And if you're not listed with us, they're not going to book with you.
Nope.
That's pretty plain and simple. We have a COVID offer.
Yep.
No cost to sign up, and
nope. We're bucking up the bill here, Canada. We're gonna buck up the bill for the whole year, and the reason we can do that is because we're growing. We're not like all these other ones out there crying the blues. We're growing. And we're growing because we're authentic content, and we're out there promoting Canada every single day. And as Mike told us, all we do is wear red and white. And
That's funny.
and I like that. I think that's a good thing. So
I got a little bit of blue today.
You do. You rebel, you.
But yeah, if you're not signed up, which doesn't take any time or any cost, you're missing out on the travelers, plain and simple.
That's just YouTube. I think next we can give you a whole bunch of other tips of what's going on. But
yeah, but they're coming to our site and looking through YouTube, etc. And
they're all coming to our site.
They're looking to book, and if you're not there, you're missing out. Exactly.
So today we're talking to Canada's Fiddler, Mike Sanyshyn. I'm going to read you some of this stuff, Colin. It's pretty impressive, so sit back and enjoy. Mr. Sanyshyn, a CMA, bccma, Fiddle Player of the Year. No slouch to the fiddle art. Lots of talent here in this boy's fingers. Mike Sanyshyn is an artist, musician, instructor, composer, and studio session player, and is Canada's country fiddler, right? He's known for his participation with the country music and other genres, just to make sure it's out there. He performed with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra once, recording artist Arian Pritchett, right? He's open for Trisha Yearwood, Terry Clark, Prairie Oyster, Randy Batman, Johnny Reed, and national star Luke Bryan. He's a musical director for British Columbia. At one point, he was a musical director. 1 year, he was a musical director for the British Columbia Country Music Association Industry Awards. This guy knows his stuff, man.
Yeah.
His signature sound has been recorded on hundreds of CDs. And I can guarantee pretty much everyone out there, if you're any CD, any download in the country genre and beyond, folk, Celtic, any of that stuff, I'm sure you've come across a Mike Sanyshyn lick. I like that. See that?
Knowing it.
Mike Sanyshyn
lick. Yes,
right?
Yeah, you're coming along.
Yes. So his signature sound is on hundreds of CDs, man. Million people have heard Mike play.
It's amazing, the list of collaborations.
He also did a ditty for Vancouver Olympic segment in Torino when they were introducing the Whistler 2010 Olympics.
Oh, that's cool.
So, you know, the whole world heard this dude play.
Yeah.
Right. So let's he's also released 3 CDs, and which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't know this. He has an original book of music. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about what that's all about. Right?
Cool.
Yeah. So Mike's talents are showcased on his website, Facebook, and Instagram. So during this show, everyone out there, go grab a pen and paper. All right. Put it beside your popcorn and your beverage and your dinner. Get ready, because we're going to be posting his Facebook page, his Instagram page, and his website, and any way and every how you can contact this guy. If you would like to book him, talk to him, follow him, and get entertained by the art of the fiddler, right? So we're going to be putting out, so grab that pen and paper. Don't use your memory, because we all know how that works, right? We first saw Mike dazzle a crowd. Colin and I, Mike doesn't know this because we sort of didn't give him the inside info on this because we got to surprise him some way, right? Mike doesn't know. Yeah. First time we saw Mike was at Rock and River. Yeah. And he was up there, and I was in the pit with my camera and video stuff because I got a press pass. And I'm there, and I was right under this dude, and he's playing away. And then he was playing with, I think he played with Kenny Hess and Donnie Grubb that year. And when I was in the pit, luckily he was on my side of the pit. You know the pit, it's crazy, right? Everyone batching, clawing, swearing at each other, get out of my way. Big camera dudes are telling little camera dudes, get out of here, all this stuff, right? So we're fighting away to get a pit. I was lucky to have him on my side of the stage, so I was saying, get away, big camera dudes, I got this spot. Right? And I got to take a whole bunch of snapshots of Mike. So I think I got one here of him. I'm going to show with you just to show you I'm not making it up. So here we go. Here he comes. Da-da-da-da!
Nice. I haven't even seen that.
I know. I got about 30 to 40 of these pics of Mike going crazy, right? So I think what we're going to do is we're going to hide that and bring in the real dude, right? And get Mike on this show. So let's bring Mike on and let's all give him a big virtual round of applause. Yeah.
Hey.
Welcome.
Hey, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to Canada's new hit show there, Mike.
It's an honor.
Great to see you both.
we're pretty happy to have 100% Canadian entertainment with all our quirky Canadianism. So we're glad to have you on board. So
Thank
Mike,
you once again.
I think we need to get to it. We gave him a little background, but you got such a long career that you worked very hard to obtain and to establish this great reputation out there for your fiddle, your violining. Maybe you could fill him in a little bit about more. Who is this Mike Sanyshyn guy that's on all these records and we've all heard him, and now we can put a face to it.
Well, thank you. I'm a third generation fiddle player, in case you guys didn't know that. My grandfather played the fiddle, and my dad, Evan, plays the fiddle and mandolin. So I grew up with this old time music in our household, and it was really a part of our family. On special occasions, we'd get together and play music. And even before I was even playing the fiddle, I remember my dad and his friends getting together, and I remember wanting to hear the records, the fiddle record collection that my dad played. And I just went and listened to this music nonstop. And so I was very fortunate at a young age that my parents recognized that I had an interest for fiddle, and they wanted to enroll me in lessons.
With this, how did you score a gig with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra?
Well, that was through Aaron Pritchett, and we were touring in one of the at the time it was one of the first peaks of Aaron's career. Aaron was doing very well, and still is, by the way. Mm-hmm. But in 2006, 2007, I believe we went and performed with the Edmonton Symphony Orchestra, and it was a collaboration of some of Aaron's music. So the conductor and arranger selected 5 songs in advance, and they created arrangements with strings and horns to Aaron's music, and it was quite exciting. It was something I've never been a part of before in a contemporary way. Mm-hmm. Although I did play in a community symphony orchestra when I was first starting out for about 5 years, and so being on stage with this acclaimed orchestra, and we actually did a live recording to CBC at the time. So it was quite it was a spectacle. It was great, and it was something that was unforgettable. It was quite an experience.
I bet.
And at the time, we had a wonderful sideman musician, Mike Norman, who passed away 10 years ago, tragically. We lost a great musician, but he was an integral part of that band at the time, and he was kind of the liaison for the orchestra and between the orchestra and Aaron. So rather than having multiple people go back and forth with the conductor, Mike would chat with them in between and make sure that we're all on the right page.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
It sounds like it's quite a memorable experience. So yeah, you must have a ton. Like you said, you've been honing your skills at fiddle since you were 8 years of age. So, and from what and correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been participating in your fiddle talents in country music, classic rock, bluegrass, Celtic swing, and even Métis fiddle, which is really interesting. So, however, you say that your techniques were most influenced by classical music, which I thought was really interesting, and it had a great influence in your style. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about that and how it has such a big impact?
Yeah, I was born and raised in a small town, a place called the Crow's Nest Pass in Coleman, Alberta. And when I was starting into lessons, when I was 8 years old, there was a lady in Blairmore who was a sweet giving, caring lady who took on a bunch of students, and she basically taught me from the very early stages. So I initially went into the lessons wanting to learn how to play old time fiddle style, and follow in my father and grandfather's footsteps and play in that genre. But my dad and grandfather and family thought it would be great for me to learn in the proper form, which is through learning how to read music and play classical music. So I feel by going in that direction, it just opened up a different world for me. And to have the ability to read music and communicate in that way with other musicians, whether it's on a live basis or in the recording studio, it's been, life-changing. I wouldn't say that classical music itself was the only music that I was inspired by. Like the old-time fiddle is really my true love in fiddle music.
Okay. So Mike, you came and played on our Canada Day concert video series. So
I did.
I am going to show off some of your talents right now, and I'm going to be playing that video. So you just hold on. We're going to be right back. And this is Mr. Mike Sanyshyn performing on the 2020 Canada Day concert series that we held with 11 Canadian musicians. And Mike wowed us with some fiddle. So here he is in concert.
And in the meantime, happy Canada Day. 1, 2, 1.
Nicely done. Nicely
Sweet.
done.
The dexterity in your fingers must be amazing.
Well, it's taken about 30 plus years to get that far, but it's always a daily challenge.
Yeah,
for sure.
Who's that cat beside you? Maybe we should give him a bit of a plug.
Oh, that's my good buddy, Craig Mcgregor. And he's a wonderful guitarist from Vancouver. Excellent. And I've worked with Craig for many years. And we started out playing in a Celtic band called the Tiller's Folly.
Okay.
And we've worked together in many other configurations as well. Another trio called the Mad Celts that I work with. And I believe you'll be playing a video from another group that I work with as well called Rip Van Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Craig and I have traveled together, taught at many music camps. And we work together with my wife actually in another couple of groups as well called Haywire and Christmas Swing. So yeah, he's one of my best friends.
Nice, nice. Well, you guys definitely had some chemistry there, eh?
Oh yeah, he's the best.
Yeah. So Mike, you have we sort of touched on it, but I'm gonna sort of pick your brain here. So you've worked with I mean, the list is phenomenal. I just sit back and I go, I can't believe you've worked with all this talent, and you totally deserve it, dude.
Thank you.
Mike, you've worked with artists from like Randy Batman to the Symphony Orchestra to Nashville Star Luke Bryan. I know the career is so massive, and you work so hard to get there. What are some of the memorable performances in your career so far? What are the ones that really jump at you?
Well, there's so many to mention, and there's so many artists like you mentioned previously too. Like I would say, definitely winning my first CCMA award was one of my most momentous occasions, and that was in 2007 in Regina, I believe. And so that year I was working and touring with Aaron Pritchett, and I had a lot of airplay that my fiddle was a part of. So all of Aaron Pritchett's songs at that time, and I believe there isn't any other fiddle on any of his recordings to date that I'm aware of, but I've pretty much played all the fiddle parts on his recordings up to date. And yeah, working with Luke Bryan was also an amazing experience. That was live on the CCMA show, and I think it was in 2012, and it was kind of a collaboration with Doc Walker. They were the backup band, and they needed a fiddle player for Luke's big single at that time was Country Girl, Shake It For Me. And so my buddy Tom McKillop, he was the musical director for the CCMA Awards at that time. So he put together the band, and so I guess the show producer had Doc Walker in mind. So between Doc Walker and adding myself into the mix, and then Luke brought one of his side guys from Nashville too. So it's kind of a collaboration band, and it was quite a unique experience because it was being filmed live, and we had one dress rehearsal.
Wow.
And I think maybe one prior rehearsal that Doc Walker was a part of that I wasn't. But so I basically had to know my parts, jump in, and make it look like I've been playing with him for a million years.
That's a challenge.
Yeah, so the pressure was on, and it was quite an amazing experience to be in front of millions of people, and to be on stage with a guy like Luke Bryan. He's one of many artists I've worked with that are so incredible. On the Canadian side of things too, like I had a chance to be on that show with let me see, it was Ian Tyson one year, Ian Tyson and Corb Lund as a collaboration. I was on there with Terry Clark in the string section for one of the other segments one time. With the Wilkinsons, Dwayne Steele, who was the first major artist I ever worked with in Canada, and I have to give him a shout out because that was my first real crack at the big time. He was signed to Mercury Records in 1996, and he had a manager, Ruth Blakely, at the time, and she put together some contacts that she heard of many great players across the country, and my name was on that list by recommendations from a few people. I was very thankful, and so we were a hand-picked band from all different parts of Canada, and we had our opportunity to travel around the country and to open on a lot of these big country festivals and shows, even appear on CBC's Rita and Friends at the time. So it was pretty cool exposure all around. I think we did Canada AM. We did the CCMA Awards as well.
I mean, that resume of yours is quite impressive.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about some of the after concert stories?
The after concert story? I don't know if we could talk about that here.
Good question.
You know what? It was at the time, to be honest, in the country community, it wasn't all that crazy like you may imagine, but we enjoyed to have a few beers and party and it's just good times and good people, and sometimes we go out to a nightclub afterwards and you'd run into some fans there too, and they'd just be happy to see you. Sure. Everybody's just down to earth, in the country world. Yeah. There's no real craziness as far as I've ever experienced, but yeah.
Okay. Like most of the folk shows I've been to, I mean, some of the best times are after, sitting around the campfire with the musicians, and nothing crazy, but it's a really good time.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very fortunate to kind of like slip through the cracks. I never thought of myself as a celebrity or anything like that. But we had a taste of that lifestyle, of course, by flying across the country, being on tour buses and riding in limousines and get treated nice, like stars. Yeah. And so that's much appreciated. And people want to be, you want to be respected and you want to respect them. And so as long as people treat you nice, you're going to treat them the way they treat you.
Totally true. Totally true. Yeah. So you're part of this other band that we had on our show, a pretty impressive foursome called Jackson Hollow, and who in fact has been, just so you viewers across the country and the world know, they're 3-time BC Country Music Association Traditional Country Artist of the Year winner. I mean, your trophy case must be like 3 rooms in your house or something. I mean, holy mackerel, dude.
Oh no.
Could you maybe tell us a little bit about? I know you're the band Jackson Hollow. I've heard them, watched your videos. Pretty cool stuff coming out of that group. So how did all that come about?
Oh, thanks. Jackson Hollow was formed in 2015, and it was originally with another couple, Kirby and Dave Barber, and they're 2 talented musicians. Initially it was like a husband and wife team of 2 sets of couples, and we worked that way for a while. They ended up branching off and doing their own thing, and they freelance with other artists as well. So we basically rebranded and regrouped the project from that point a couple of years later, and we brought in Charlie Free on the upright bass guitar, and we have Eric Reed on acoustic guitar and banjo. So they're 2 great guys, all around stellar musicians. And we just basically recorded a brand new album that's just in the can waiting to be released. And we don't have a title for the record yet, but it's our first full official record at this point. So we're very excited. We co-produced 4 of the tracks, and then as a band, Jackson Hollow, and then the 6 tracks were produced by Tom McKillop.
Nice.
Award-winning producer. And
okay. And you guys also, you participated in our show on Canada Day, and what we're going to do is it's a song, and I believe this is right, we're going to play You Ought to Be There, and this is Jackson Hollow. And listen up, people, and let me just, before we go there, I just want to make sure people are getting that pen and paper and put some use to it. JacksonHollowmusic.com. Write that down.
Hey, did I hear right that we got a new album coming out?
You did.
Well, everybody should be following you on Facebook to find out when that comes out, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, we're hoping at some point in this year we're going to be releasing something, if not early 2021.
Okay. Nice. So again, the Facebook, Instagram, and Mike's website, we're flashing it online during this award-winning, awesome Canadian Canucks special with Mike Sanyshyn. So make sure you write that stuff down and check them out and support our Canadian artists. So here we go with You Ought to Be There by Jackson Hollow.
Hi, we're Jackson Hollow. We hope you enjoy our online video. We have a new record coming out later this year. Please visit JacksonHollowmusic.com.
Happy birthday, Canada! If you think it's lonesome where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. If you think there's heartaches where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Because with you I'm whole, without you I'm cold. So if you think about me where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. If teardrops are falling where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Loneliness calling where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me. Because with you I'm whole, without you I'm cold. So if you think about me where you are tonight, then you ought to be here with me.
I like that song. I
Yes.
really do. I like that song. Where can we get that song? Off JacksonHollowMusic.com?
You know what? That was a special recording that we just did as a COVID project,
Okay.
Nice.
just remotely from each of our home studios. And so it's not really available other than here at ehCanada.
Hey,
Or,
I like that.
or on JacksonHollowMusic.com. You could see it on YouTube. And so, yeah, we didn't really release it. It's basically just a cover tune that we love. And it's a song that was recorded previously by the great George Jones,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and yeah, we just look for all kinds of classic tunes sometimes, and like to put our bluegrass twist on it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And you heard it first here. It's on ehCanada. And another first time. We had Ben Click. We got Mr. Mike Sanyshyn. This show's just, we keep hitting it out of the park there, Junior.
Oh, it's impressive for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, it's thank you to
Appreciate
people
it.
like Mike Sanyshyn and all the other artists here who are keeping Canadian music strong and getting the word out there. So, Mike, we're asking everyone this, and it's a tough question because we're all in that sort of boat. But how much of a positive and or negative impact has COVID-19 had on the music career, the concerts? How are musicians moving forward in this? And it's a challenging time.
Well, I think we all know the negative side of it, as far as it's been very crippling to the music business.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very difficult for musicians right now. At this point, we are still receiving help from the government, but that's going to be running out sooner than we think. So without that, without the CERB relief, and it's going to be tough. I can't imagine what it's going to be like. At this point, for myself and my wife Tiana, we're just doing all we can to try to stay positive. We're trying to organize our new record that's going to be released, and we're still working on all the details for that. We've been setting up at home and recording from home, So Tiana can do background vocals. I can record online fiddle and mandolin sessions here remotely. So that has already opened up some doors for us, and we'd like to get the word out there more so. But we fully rely on music as our income. So we don't really have a backup plan at this point. So we're just really hoping on trying to come up with some ways to still stay relevant and be able to, monetize what we do in this new reality, whatever that is.
It's go ahead.
I was just going to say the positive sides, sorry to interrupt there, would be, of course, all this extra time that we had that we can just kind of catch up and just regenerate. You could focus on your health, focus on your mental wellness, and just try to take that and just run with it. So many people in the music business for so many years have been basically running. That's how I feel. Like you feel like there's hardly any time off because you're always working on the next gig or preparing for the next time, and you just never truly just have time alone to really work on your own projects like you'd think. But this, we've had nothing but time. So I kind of trying to treat that as a good thing for creative reasons. And so that was definitely a plus and still is for now.
Excellent. So then there's the question is that just to get your feedback, what do you think of initiatives like our talk show here, where we're having our Canadian concert series, and we're asking musicians to come on board so we can put them in the limelight, help them out, get their music out there. It's sort of what we're sort of doing is we're experimenting with new ways of putting a spotlight on the Canadian music industry, because we have a lot of friends in the industry, and we feel the hurt. And there's also the optimism, like what you said, and other artists have brought up some of the positives. What do you think of some of these new initiatives that are coming out online, like this show and other things that are coming out there?
Well, I have to commend you guys for supporting live music and supporting us and the arts, because often we're a forgotten industry. Everyone wants to enjoy music for what it is, but when it comes down to paying for it, it's always like, oh yeah, maybe we don't need music now. So it's one of those things. Like, I feel like the music industry has been taken advantage of that way sometimes by people, and not everybody wants to be supportive. I mean, that's just my thought about it. I do always appreciate people who follow us and support us, and we've had nothing but great relationships throughout the years with fans and friends, and still welcome that, for sure. And I just think maybe it'd be a wake-up call for people to think, our industry isn't bulletproof. We have to, I'd say music is an essential service. People rely on it for so many things. As far as as music therapy, I mean, that's obviously an essential service. It's helping
every
people,
day.
but everybody lives their life with music in some capacity, and I think our government and the people in the higher upper echelon people need to think about that, and we just need to try to include the industry and moving forward, and just seeing what else we can do to create new opportunities, just like you guys are doing. And I would encourage, corporations to start thinking in this kind of way too. Like, maybe there's a way they could help out the industry. Maybe there's a way they can sponsor and,
go big.
Yeah, really do something to make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And that's and I know Junior here, he's a music guru. He believes that music therapy because he has it on all the time. And especially when he's working, he likes working the music. So
music makes life.
Totally, yeah.
Sure.
Everyone loves music for the most part, as far as I know.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, if we don't buck up as a country, we're going to be losing some Canadian artists because they're going to have to go doing other things that they're to fulfill the need of paying the mortgage and the rent and the food on the table, and we're going to lose some really good artists if we don't start as a country start supporting this industry. It's absolutely boggles my mind. Okay, everyone now for the next month. You cannot listen to a song and tell me that you are happy because you can't listen to music. Music is important for our psyche, and especially now when everyone's staying home. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
I mean, it boggles our minds. So again, that's why we're very appreciative to all the musicians and very appreciative that Mr. Mike Sanyshyn has come online to share with us some of his music and his thoughts. So really cool, Mike. Is there maybe, Mike, we're going to do a little thing here. We're going to bring your Rip Van Finn Gavin Lake radio swing on. And before we bring that on, what I'd like to know is and this is your time, what you feel is important, how you would like to end this wonderful show. Thank you for coming. But is there anything you'd like to tell our audience or share with our audience before we go into your Rip Van Finn Gavin Lake radio swing?
Well, I just want to say, thank you for tuning in and supporting live music. I think this is the time where you guys can make a difference. You can buy some merchandise. You can buy a physical copy of a recording if you don't already have it. Just try to spread the love, and just think of it that we need to pay our bills and like everybody else. So just keep us in mind. Yeah, because we need the help right now for sure.
Excellent. And we're going to do our best. We've talked in our pre-show while you were pigging out on our beaver tails and poutine. We could barely get a word in. But
you see some of my right there.
That's it. That's it.
Drool.
So we talked some interesting things. So we're going to keep in touch. We're going to see what we can do, and I think we're going to go big instead of going home like everyone else. We might go big and figure something out here. But
that's great.
Before we go, Mike, we want to leave us with a little bit of a live ditty to get us all psyched up, and then from there we'll go into your videos. So it's all
absolutely
yours. It's all yours, Mike. Go.
I got a question before you start there.
Yeah. Okay.
When you're rosin up your bow, what are you doing?
Well, you're creating friction. The bow needs the hairs on the bow need the resin or the rosin to stick on the hairs to grab onto the strings to create the friction to make the sound. Other than if you don't have any tree sap on there, it makes no noise.
Okay.
A couple other things here to touch on would be, you're asking what's the difference between a fiddle and a violin. And the answer is, in what I understand it is that a violin has strings on it and a fiddle has strings. Yeah. And one last thing is, you guys should have had a disclaimer at the beginning of the program with all those violins, because it was excessive use of violins. That's what I thought. So.
You know what, Mike? That's why.
Warning.
I love it.
That's why we pay the big bucks to corporate.
That's right. Yeah. Right. Okay, so I'm going to end things off here with a live little ditty tune here. It's actually it's a Canadian classic written by the great Ward Allen. It's a little tune called Maple Sugar. Thanks to both you guys for having me here on this program, and enjoy the rest of your night, guys.
You go crazy, buddy. And here we go
Yeah.
with Rick Van Finn, Gavin Late Radio Swing. And thank you again, Mr. Mike Sanyshyn.
That was awesome.
Yeah, so Mikey here, he dazzled us with a few ditties. He covered pretty much everything out there. I mean, I hope his phone rings off the hook, because if there's anything I've learned with the people we meet, Colin, is that the classy guys, the good guys, the hard workers, man, whatever we can do to give them their cred, because there's a lot of them out there, and there's it's amazing of some of the talent that's out there, right? So
that's what I love so much about the show, is we get to see and hear the real Mike.
Yeah.
And they're just, like you say, normal people.
Yeah.
Just working hard to make a living, and classy.
Yep. And Mike, and I'm not just saying this because I want tickets to Mike's next concert or anything like that. Hint, hint. But I'm saying it because he is a cool cat, and I'm not just saying that because I hear that from other musicians, and they've told me that. And actually, to get Mike on the show, couple other musicians said that we should contact him. And I seen him. I was there in the pit. I saw Mike up close, and he was. I saw his fiddle solo. And I think even at that time, I was asking a friend of mine at the Rockin' River, says, "Who's that fiddler, man? Holy mackerel! Like, whoa!" Right?
Nice.
I've never seen somebody rock it out on a fiddle like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, what we need to do is we need the ehTravel Talk Show. It's brought to you by ehTravel Marketing Group and ehCanadaTravel.com. And it's important to book Canadian, plan Canadian, and see Canadian, and support our Canadian artists.
Yes.
Colin, you touched on it. I'll let you run with it. But we do have a COVID advertising special, our little ditty that we're doing for the Canadian tourism industry. Maybe you want to run them down on that real quick?
Well, it's pretty simple. You sign up on our website, ehCanadaTravel.com. Sign up your business, because we got plenty of people looking to plan their travels or to qualified travelers that want to book. And if you're not there, they can't book with you.
Exactly.
That sums it up. Doesn't cost anything. Try it out.
Yep.
You got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yep. And if I
No
may,
commissions.
and
You
if I
want
may,
to take back the tourism industry from these foreign interests that are taking commissions out of everybody's pocket. That
Yep.
doesn't need to happen.
Yep. Oh, and don't forget about the wonderful job you know what they're doing in Canada. ehCanadaTravel.com is providing, as my junior brother, more better looking brother, 1 free year of advertising for Canadian tourism businesses, events, tours, guides, attractions, accommodations, realtors, and influencers. On Canada, we are Canada's largest privately owned operated travel and adventure website. Please support us. We support you. We support Canadian anything. If it has 100% Canadian on it, we're in. Contact us if you've got a great Canadian story to come on this show. If you're a musician, contact us. Let's hear your stuff. Let's populate. We are booked far in advance, so get it in now. Let me just stick something up there for you wonderful people. This is our email, so you can email us with opportunities and sell your story and why you want to be on the show. If you want to sponsor our show, we are considering it down the road because it is getting a ton of views, and if you'd like to sponsor the show, we would love it. But again, 100% Canadian product, 100% Canadian everything. We are on location, so we are looking when things calm down a bit, and we are looking at booking into maybe the fall or the spring. We're going to bring our talk show to your community. If you want to expose your business for a lot for all week, we can bring this talk show. It's mobile. We'll bring it to your business. We'll have you on the show. We'll talk about your business. We'll talk about your community. We'll show off your community. We'll research it, and we'll bang it out there on this new show, which is up for numerous awards. And it's also considered by some to be the #1 new online Canadian talk show out there. So we've been told that call. And
Awesome. We can be on location anywhere.
We're a top 9% Facebook Live show, dude. So, and once we do our thing on search engines, tens of thousands of people will see it once we're done all our wonderful magic. So here's how you contact us, media@ehCanadaTravel.com. Got an idea, you want to sponsor, you want to put a commercial on, you want to bring us to your community so we can flog your community to our tens of thousands of viewers every day. We can do that. Colin.
Yes, bro.
You got anything else you want to blab out there?
I think we've covered it pretty good. Thanks everybody for coming out, and we love that you come to see the show and share it and go to Mike's site and buy some music. Yep.
Support our musicians. Mike Sanyshyn was our guest today. He is a bccma and ccma Fiddler of the Year. Very talented, very awesome guy. Support him as much as you can. That's it for our show from tonight. So take care, Canada. Practice physical distancing. So we all can explore often. So we got to get this thing straight. And peace out, Canada. Be safe. Brothers of Tourism, out.
Be smart. Peace out.